Hey everyone, welcome back to Cody Tarot. Today's is just kind of like a little improvised reading. I'm going to be pulling random messages for you all. A lot of you have commented on the channel that you wanted something other than love readings. I do have a love reading that has been posted, or a non-love reading that has been posted by the time this video comes out, that I've already posted. But yeah, I just want to do some like random messages to see what comes through for your guys' situations, just whatever spirit wants to bring through, whatever I get channeled today. So these are just going to be random messages. I'm going to probably keep these pretty short and sweet, but this is just for those of you who want to hear some news and get some kind of little predictions for what's going on in your life right now. So please pick a pile of these three crystals. We have Chrysoprase, Rhodonite, and orange calcite in front of us. Whichever one you're drawn to is probably your reading. If you're not drawn to any of them, check out my other pick-a-cards. Maybe there will be a crystal that you're drawn to in one of those, and that you can get an answer to one of your questions there. So let's go ahead and get started by showing you guys these crystals one by one. We first have this Chrysoprase crystal for group one. Group two is Rhodonite crystal. And group three is the orange calcite crystal. So take all the time you need to pick your crystal, and you can pause the video here if you need more time. Without further ado, let's get into your reading, starting with group number one. Hey group one, let's get into your reading today. I have some cards left over from this deck that I need to shuffle back into this deck. Let's see here. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm really excited to get into today's reading. I'm just shuffling a few more things over here. Okay, let's get into today's reading. What messages need to come through for group number one in today's reading? Okay, let's see. First message. We have Hangman, and we have Ten of Swords. Your guys' perspective is going to be shifting soon. I'm seeing that. Your perspective is going to be shifting, and you're coming out of a period of anxiety. You're removing the blindfold of what's going on in this situation, and you're seeing things clearly. This is going to come from a change of perspective. I do think this change of perspective could happen. If this is a more long-term kind of question or situation, this change of perspective could happen in the fall, so about 6 months from now. It could also like progress into wintertime with the Ten of Swords here with the snow on the tree. That is something that I'm seeing. If you're looking for something or a mindset shift or a spiritual breakthrough or something like that, your next spiritual breakthrough for my spiritually inclined viewers will be in the fall through the winter. It's also possible that you all recently went through a spiritual breakthrough through the fall, through the winter, and you're coming out of it. You have removed the blindfold from your eyes in this period of time, and you're seeing things very clearly. This is a moment where you are understanding things with an accurate perception. This all came from a change in perspective. I think you guys had certain beliefs or thoughts in the past, and those thoughts have been turned around, or you've looking at different ways of viewing those thoughts. We have teamwork opportunities coming up for you guys, also coming up soon, especially if this is in the past energy. But if this is something coming in fall and winter and you didn't go through this still applies to you for a current message. With Three of Pentacles, you have teamwork opportunities. Something is going to come up with a coworker, and it's going to be the opportunity to take a trip somewhere. Also with the Swan here, I think this person on your team is very beautiful. For some of you, you have a crush on this person. For others of you, you don't like them. You just know that they're very attractive. There's something about their appearance that's attractive. Could be their skin or the clothes they wear. Something about them has a charismatic glow about them is what I'm seeing. I am seeing that this delineation of the three-pointed, I don't know what that symbol's called. It's try something. It's pointing down. So it's indicating two becoming one, or it's indicating this three group pentacle teamwork thing becoming, it means you're separating from the team. It means you're going to be going on a trip with a coworker, and you're going to be separating from the team. You're going to be separating from the group. You also have someone who could be like snake-like in your presence as well, who's helping you see things clearly with the team that you're on. In this deck, she's blindfolded in pretty much every card, indicating that the future is unknown. But you do have this feeling with the snake here that someone's helping you see things clearly. We do have the crystals in the pond, which is reminding me of wealth, and it's reminding me of like staying afloat. So one thing that I'm seeing is you guys might feel like you're staying afloat financially, and you're kind of like, you're either barely making it by or you're enjoying this period of staying afloat. You know, it's kind of like you've learned to not like struggle in the water. It's like you've learned to not struggle in the pool of money, or the pool of lack or resources or whatever financial situations you have. But you're learning to float in that pond, right? You're learning to float and let the things come to you. For some of you, it does feel like you could still be in this struggling phase where you are like waiting, or you're struggling for money to get to you, something like that. But for a lot of you, you're coasting easy. You're coasting easy. And if something comes by, you're picking it up. If nothing comes by, you're just floating without. You're in this kind of like feeling of without, but not struggling with it is kind of what I'm saying. You're not struggling against the current. You're not drowning. You're not trying to, you've learned to float. You've just kind of let your body rise and float on the surface of the water, and you're taking deep breaths in and out, and you're kind of looking up is kind of the vibe that I'm seeing. With this swan here, she's also floating, and the swan is causing ripples, which is interesting because I think this person you're going on the trip with, or this person in general, if some of you are like don't want to go on the trip with this person, say they invite you and you decide not to go, you have too much stuff to do at home or something like that, you don't have to go on this trip. It will be presented to you though. But with the Eight of Cups, this person's creating ripples. They're creating wealth-making opportunities for you in this career environment. Let's see what else is coming out. Let's get a few more cards. Let's get one for over here. Yeah, I do see in the far past, you've manifested some of this stuff into your environment. So there's a feeling of manifesting this energy, or that you have manifested this energy. Let's get a crystal reading card. We have Ancient Wisdom Crystal. I am an expression of the powerful ancient wisdom of my soul. It guides me through life. Yeah, it's interesting because I do feel like this work opportunity or the job that you're in right now is a soul calling. I feel like you really enjoy what you do. You really enjoy the work you do. You love the company, something like that. There's a feeling that it took a while to get this job, but you finally got it and you're like happy that you have it. And you feel like this is a really good fit for you. I do think with Ancient Wisdom Crystal, you have had past lives with your coworkers, especially the ones you really connect with. I see that in a past life, you were best friends with them. There's a feeling of being best friends, and there's a feeling of sharing information with each other. So that could also be that in a past life, you guys were students in a particular university or ancient school, either of magic or philosophy. And the cool thing about this is you guys shared a lot of information with each other about how the world works, and you have a lot of the same philosophical beliefs. You have a lot of the same values as far as what you believe and how you believe the world operates, and just values in general. I think a lot of your coworkers have the same values as you. So you might learn through these projects and with this particular coworker that this is not anything different with this new coworker, this beautiful or attractive coworker. They have the same values as you as well. You just need to talk about it, and it'll be very clear and very obvious. We do have the fireflies here, indicating that towards the end of this period, after this trip or after these new wealth opportunities come to you with the ripples in both images here, carrying the crystals of abundance to you, there is this feeling of you also being lighting your way. Like there's this feeling of your way being lit forward. I think coming up soon after this period, after this trip, this is more into the far future, but your angels and guides are providing more light for you to see into the future clearly and accurately, so you know where to go. It's like they're going to be guiding you with how do I put it, like a clearer direction. Like there's a clearer direction coming for you. Like I said, Don't worry. That's also, if this spiritual breakthrough hasn't happened to you, like where most of you it's happened in the fall and winter of this year recently, but if this spiritual breakthrough has not happened for you, or you haven't had this kind of turning point in your perspective where the blindfold was removed and you could see it clearly, that's what's coming with this direction. And that is what's going to be reiterated if you did have this experience in the far future. You're going to be seeing things a lot clearer, right? Ten of Swords talks about an elimination of anxiety. So there's this feeling of having your anxiety eliminated, or there's this feeling of having your worries purged from you or something like that, so you can see clearly. Ten of Cups also indicates that family is important to you guys, or the idea of family, and something you dream about, or your ideal that you are dreaming about is a family eventually. Like you want a family, you want to start a family. This could be a deeper wish, one that you might not be fully aware of as well. Like there's a feeling of wanting to either have a community or start a family or leave a legacy of some kind. Once again, we have floating creatures. We have the ducks floating on the river. And we also have this cool archway of flowers that this girl is in. And it's reminding me of a wedding. It's reminding me of being a flower girl or something like that. If some of this is a random message, if it doesn't resonate, just pass it on, pass it by. But for a lot of you, you were a flower girl in a wedding at a really young age, and it left a big impression on you. The ceremony left a big impression on you. Walking down that aisle left a big impression on you. This also could be something related to flowers in general. I'm seeing blue flowers here. This beautiful person might bring you flowers, something like that. There could be epiphanies or understandings about the future when you look at flowers. There could be aspects of flower gazing, right? Where you look at flowers and you divine messages of the future. You know, you could go to gardens or places where there's lots of flowers, and it could help you think clearer, or you could have an epiphany while staring at a flower. So you could have a moment of truth and understanding and enlightenment while staring at a flower, and you easily see the path clearly ahead. Okay, thank you guys for letting me read for you. It was an honor. It was a pleasure. I really appreciate you being here for this reading. And if you want to help out the channel, like or comment below, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye. Hey, group 2, if you picked the Rhodonite, let's get into your reading. So these are just random messages. I felt called to just pull random messages today. So yeah, let's see what comes out. What does group 2 need to hear? How are we going to start their reading off? Okay, we have Ten of Cups. The last group got this in their endpoint. We have Three of Pentacles. A lot of the same cards are coming up for both groups. I did reshuffle, and I am shuffling the cards back into the deck. Let's see what else pops up. We have the Ten of Swords. Wow, almost the same exact cards, wow, are coming out for your reading. Interesting. I normally don't pull the same cards per reading, but I think it's one of those things where like there's archetypal themes going on in the collective. So let's get into your reading. You guys are actually moving out of a working partnership is what I'm seeing. A working partnership or a business partnership. This partnership, I feel like felt like a family situation. I'm going to do a hard shuffle too, because usually when I get the same cards, I need to do a hard shuffle. This felt like a family situation, or a coworker that felt like a family member, and you're moving away from them. This feels very much like, this has probably already happened to you guys, but this feels very much like a divorce. If this is ringing true to you guys, you know the relationship has run its course. This working partnership has run its course. For a lot of you, this is an agent, or this is someone who represents you, someone who kind of has supported your growth for a while, but you need to break away. Okay, I picked up the deck, and this card was on the bottom, and it didn't pick up with the rest of the deck. We have Nine of Cups. You have something better coming for you. It's all about self-reflection. This person that represents you, or this person that is part of your representation, no longer represents the true you, right? Your reflection is seeing clearly the projects you're working towards. Nine of Cups with the mirror here is also indicating film industry. It's indicating Neptunian things, so screens, acting, creativity, artwork. However you self-express, however you create that expression and you put it onto either a canvas, it doesn't matter what you're creating, as long as you're creating something, that expression is you, and your creations are speaking for themselves. Easy. Look into the creations that you're creating. You might not really understand why you're making the art you're doing or why the art is coming out the way it is, but that is showing your future. That is showing your next step. That is showing the next agent that you need to have. A lot of you are not going to resonate with this reading, picking this. Just click off. This is specifically for people who have a working business partnership with someone who represents their talent. Eight of Cups. Yes, I'm still getting the same cards as pile 1 or group 1, so bear with me. But Eight of Cups just still represents leaving behind someone, and it also represents your beauty being stand out. There's a feeling that your beauty is standing out in this time period, and it's a great time to get new representation. The beauty of your artwork is standing out in this period, another good time to get representation. If you're not in a creative field, this would be a great time to go job hunting for jobs. Like, this is a great time to, I always suggest not leaving a company fully until you have the next job. That's really just a general common sense, smart thing to do. But the vibe that I'm getting is you're changing. Your appearance is shifting. Your projects are shifting. How you make your creative work is shifting, and you need new representation, right? This previous agent, as good as they were for you, as much as they helped you grow, they are representative of a time period where you were a different person. They got you different roles. You're growing out of the roles that you're getting right now. Six of Wands, you have a lot of popularity coming to you. With it overpowering the Ten of Swords energy right here, this is something that is hidden. Like, how do I put this? Like, your guides, the people in your life that support you, are seeing your potential clearly, but they're not telling you about it. They're not expressing that to you. They're guiding you in subtle ways. I really do see this as spirit guides. I do see this as angels. I do see this as spiritual energy, right? With Six of Wands here, they're guiding you to success. They're guiding you to fame. They're guiding you to popularity. We also have the Seven of Cups. You're going to have lots of options opening up for you. That is the only thing about this reading that's going to be overwhelming. There's going to be a lot of options. There's going to be a lot of things to choose from. Just make a choice. I know that sounds painful because you're going to want to weigh out the options. You're going to want to figure out what is good, what is not good, all that kind of stuff, but just make a choice. You're going to be experiencing, with the Seven of Cups here, a lot of different energies, from tumultuous energies to adventurous energies. You guys can handle it all. That is what I'm being told. You guys can handle it all. It is not going to be overwhelming, but it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. These different kinds of energies are going to bring different emotions. But even though you know that, I'm still recommending just make a choice. Just like pick one and go with it, because you're going to be getting a lot of opportunities, and the point is to get into motion. One last card for you guys. The Magician with the Hangman. This next period of activity where you're getting new representation, where you're moving on from a previous person that you worked with. This is interesting because it is leading to an increase in your manifestation abilities, right? Up until this point, a lot of you haven't been able to manifest super accurately, is kind of what I'm seeing, or they've come in weird ways or something like that. With the Hangman here, it's like they come in reverse, or they come in a different weird perspective. This is something that maybe you didn't manifest. I don't think you wanted to manifest this much busy work. And I say busy work because you still get to do what you love. You still get to be creative. You still get to have your representation, stuff like that. But I don't think you expected this much work in this short amount of time coming up. With the Magician here, you're going to be increasing your manifestation abilities by going through these lessons, going through these life experiences, going through this fame and recognition. It's giving you a different perspective on your goals in life. Who knows? You guys might even realize you don't want a huge following after you get a huge following. It just may be part of your karmic lesson to receive that and then figure out if you want it or not. That's kind of the thing that I'm feeling. And I'm feeling a lot of you need to have this fame and recognition. You need to have this success. You need to have this opportunity to go into a different type of role where you're being a totally different person than you were in your past representation, and to see if you can be famous or well known in this particular role. For some of you, you're switching creative mediums. You're going from visual art to auditory art, something like that. You're becoming a musician or something like that, but your music is getting very well recognized. You are my group that is extremely creative, to the point where anything you touch really turns to gold, and any kind of transformation you make, although you're scared to make it and step into a new role. So for example, maybe you made like this bubblegum pop music if you're a music artist, and now you want to paint like gothic cathedrals or something like that. It could be as extreme as that. You're changing your style and you're going to get famous for it, and it's a totally new representation, new world that you're going into. But ooh, extra cards coming out. We have 2 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. I am being told, if you are in a relationship or you are with someone or you're dating or you're focused on love, to stop focusing on love. 2 of Cups indicates that those soulmate unions are not meant to be in your life at this time, because you're meant to achieve your dreams. 3 of Swords also indicates with the runes here that be careful of what you say, right? With the 3 of Swords, be careful of what you say, because you want to be aware of breaking people's hearts. I am seeing you might have some love coming in, and it's weird. This is almost like a temptation to tempt you off the path. That you don't have to view it as a temptation, just view it with the 6 of Wands here as attention, right? This is also saying don't date one of your fans. Don't date one of your fans. It won't work out. 3 of Swords talks about getting in your head about this. Like, man, they're so nice to me, but they are a fan. I would not date one of your fans. That's kind of what's coming through. 3 of Swords talks about it being a little bit painful if that happens, or the relationship causing some issues with your career path. This is just, Swords energy is preventative usually. Like it's something to point out a future issue or possibility that you totally can avoid. That's how I see Swords, at least now in my career as a tarot reader. I pretty much see that with the tarot reading, there's certain things that are, there's a few things. There's choices where you have options to do things. There's things that are inevitable that are probably just going to happen to you, most likely, unless you totally really resist them. They're just these inevitable things. And then there's challenges to avoid. There's things that are negative that could come up that you don't necessarily have to go through if you kind of find the right way around it, right? So yeah, so that's going to be your reading for today. Thank you guys again so much for letting me read for you. If you want to help out the channel, like or comment below. With that said, I will bid you adieu. I'll see you guys in the next pick a card. Bye. Hey group 3, if you chose the orange calcite, this will be your reading. So let's get started. Let's get started with group 3's reading with the orange calcite. I'm pretty much just using a tarot deck. I actually feel called to pull from an oracle deck right now. Let's get the Citadel Oracle to pull an oracle card. Let's get an oracle card for group 3. Oh, this one wants to come out. You have the Botanist. And we have the Spy Master and the Alchemist. First of all, the Botanist coming out, I feel like a lot of you work with plants. I feel a lot of you with parenthood and legacy work with growth in particular. You could be teachers, you could be administrators, you could be educators, something like that. With the Spy Master, we have knowledge and distrust. Be careful in this next period of encouraging distrust in your students. I am seeing there's this feeling that, what is the Alchemist saying? Let me look at the Alchemist. Balance, invention, destruction and distrust and legacy. Yeah, if you ever rate my professor, if you're an educator, you ever rate my I don't even know what they have now, but I know they have those websites where you can rate your professors, you can rate your teachers. Just be nice to your students because we could have someone who is or potential students, there could be a platform where they're actually looking up something online with Spy Master to figure out if you're the right teacher for them. Something like that. Maybe also you guys have, like, what are those things, requirements or assessments that come up for teachers where they give you your periodic reports or they assess your progress, something like that. Those are the initial messages for the archetypes coming through. And also botanist means with plants, and if you are someone that's a gardener, this is just indicating that be careful of, with the crow here, how crows eat the corn on the field and then you need the scarecrow to scare them away. This is something getting into your plants, or something to like preventative. Like if you have been thinking about getting preventative measures into your garden, like maybe you have bugs, you have insects, or, you know, if you have roses, you have aphids or something like that. This is a matter of getting insect repellent or something like that, or some kind of natural deterrent for your plants and stuff like that. So the Hierophant basically is saying that this reading wants me to pull it back to the teaching thing, right? You have the key for a lot of your students' development. A lot of people and a lot of students, this is coming through as a reading of how your students perceive you. You're kind of curious how your students perceive you truly and deeply. Maybe you're nervous about some of these opinions online or social media or something like that, where the students rate the professor, something like that. I don't even know if they still do that, so ignore that message if that's not true. When I went to college, they did that. You could go on websites and see how the professors were rated. But you have the key to unlocking a lot of students' potential. I don't think you realize how many lives you change, and you do change lives. I think that there's a feeling that you are idolized truly and deeply by a lot of your students. Even though some of them don't like you, you might be very polarizing in general, but there's a feeling you're tapped into higher awareness, that your teaching and how you educate is being channeled into you through higher awareness. Knight of Pentacles talks about how you could be a very practical, pragmatic teacher, right? This woman's also very beautiful. You could be an attractive teacher, something like that. But the bull indicates that maybe it's been a rough ride for you in general. Maybe it's been a rough ride. Maybe it's been difficult in this career, this job, but you've actually learned to love it. And it's been like a tough, it's almost been a tough journey, but you've grown and you loved it ever since you started. Four of Wands here is indicating, how do I put this? It's indicating fun, excitement, celebrations, is also coming through as the solution to a lot of this. Introduce more fun into your students' lives. Play more games. You can play educational games where it's like, what's it called? Where you can make a lesson that's like Jeopardy, right? And quiz your students and have them like win awards or something for playing like almost like a mock Jeopardy game. I'm getting the image of like a mock Jeopardy game where there's like answers behind questions and people are like, like history of something for 900 or, mathematics for 500 or whatever. So if you have kind of stuff like that, like subjects, it's like history or mathematics or something, play a game with your students, make it into a game show. I think that could be really fun with Four of Wands here. There's a feeling of getting some of the students to laugh, having a little bit of fun with it. Releasing some aspects of yourself that actually enjoy teaching and making it more fun could lighten the load for both you and your students. We do have the Tower energy here, indicating that you're going to go through a major transformation. This is not related to your teaching. This is not related to your teaching, but you're going to have a sudden awakening. You're going to have a sudden awakening and some structure in your life is going to come crumbling down. For some of you, you're moving houses. You're moving houses, and don't worry, a lot of you right now are scared of the Tower. I'm seeing that with the Temperance card, that you guys are scared of the Tower, but Temperance is coming out to show you that divine help is helping you out. And your angels and the spirits from the rest of the universe are looking after you. For some of you, you don't believe in spirits, you don't believe in angels looking after you, but they are. And they don't care if you don't believe in them, they're still going to be there for you and they're still going to help you out. When you are ready to look at signs or whenever you're ready to have a spiritual understanding, more so than you do now, they will be there with open arms, is what I'm seeing. Also, this angel has these two flowers that are pollen is going back and forth between the two flowers. I will say with my gardener, it might be time for my gardeners out there to cross-pollinate your flowers. So there might be a feeling of breeding certain flowers or something like that. I'm also getting the image of someone who breeds puppies or someone who breeds animals or something like that and sells them. If you do that, it's indicating that you're gonna have a lot of good, or there's, how do I put it? The animals that you're breeding, the offspring, I don't know what to call them. The offspring are going to be blessed. Like there's a feeling of healthy offspring. I know some people who do this, like their litters die or something like that, or some babies can die and stuff like that. And it's hard on the person who's doing this. That might be something that's happened to you in the past, but coming up soon, you're going to have a beautiful litter with really beautiful babies or puppies or whatever you're breeding that are going to come out, kittens, Let's see, the Alchemist, we have Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles talks about your coworkers in whatever job you're at. So if you're an educator and you work with other people or you have coworkers, they could help you develop these plans to create games and fun in your teaching world. They could help you or give you good advice for ideas. You might reach out to a coworker that you don't normally talk to who is a very well received or very well liked professor. And they might give you some pretty good advice, right? It's interesting because I feel like you haven't approached them before, and it's like the first time you're approaching them. And they could be a chemistry professor as well with the alchemist here. But they're giving you some great ideas for lesson plans and work with that kind of stuff, with teaching and stuff. Page of Cups talks about how you have a few children that you are teaching, or a few students. I'm going to say students because some of you are college professors. But you have a few students who are very psychically in tune and very psychically gifted. These are kids that are very sensitive, and the cards coming out to indicate that it would be good to protect them, or it would be good to, I'm getting the image of like calling on people in class if no one raises their hand, or the vibe I'm getting is like you're gonna know who these sensitive kids are. The cards are urging you, don't put them on the spot. Be gentle with their feelings. This is a period of time where these sensitive kids or these sensitive students are going through major transformation, not only in your classroom, but in their life. So there's something going on with a student in particular where they're having a sensitivity thing, right? This could be a student suffering from depression. Maybe they're not turning their assignments in on time and there's some issues going on at home, something like that. Or there's a feeling that a student could be struggling in class and they're not doing so well in other areas. This is also really important for the fun, the Four of Wands, keeping the classroom fun. This is going to be very helpful for your more sensitive students who struggle with keeping up with coursework because they're downloading so much psychic information at this time. One last card for you guys. We'll put it right up here. Knight of Cups talks about that your romantic partner, a lot of you are married, but if you're not, you will be meeting someone soon with the Knight of Cups here. This is also messages. This is also a message in love. This is someone like expressing or admitting feelings for you or coming into your life and saying they like you. This is something that I'm seeing. I'm also seeing a major transformation with Spy Master and the Knight of Cups, where a lot of your ratings on Rate My Professor and stuff are going to be changing relatively soon. A lot of the students where the lives that you've changed, where you have the key to their lives, are going to be coming forward and actually adding to your rating on that rating site or something like that. There's if you guys don't have rating sites where you're at, where you teach, this is just a run-of-the-mill talk, right? There might be some student or disciple of yours who stands up for you against someone else who talked down to you. I do want to pull one more card, one last card. Yeah, the Lovers is confirming that you're going to meet a love interest soon, especially if a lot of this reading has resonated. You're either a gardener, or you're either a botanist, a gardener, a teacher, or you have disciples of some form, or you teach people in some way. You do have a love interest coming in. I also see like a lot of special secrets revealed with this love interest, something like that. Okay. With that, I'm going to end your guys' reading. Thank you again so much for letting me read for you. I had a pleasure reading these readings today. A lot of them were very specific. So, yeah, if it didn't apply, or just apply it to your situation if it was too specific for you. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I will catch you in the next pick a card. Bye.